Okay, so we have my kinesiology student Winnie here sitting at what's a pretty typical desk setup. Okay, so we've got standard desk, standard kitchen type chair. Okay, so there's a couple issues when you look at how she's sitting. Let's start from the ground up. Her feet aren't touching the ground, they're dangling a little bit, which is going to lead to issues and potential issues with circulation over time. Okay, she's sitting back into the chair, which isn't too bad, but now you look at the angle of her arms here, and she's reaching up, and the wrists are bent a little bit. Okay, and then when we go from her eye level, going to the laptop, she should be looking straight ahead. She's looking down. Okay, so over time, she's going to pull herself forward and get into that hunched posture. Okay, so what tweaks can we make? First thing we want to do is to try to at least get her up in the chair so she doesn't have to reach up as much. Okay, so using basic household items, we take a pillow, have her grab a seat. So let's see this. Okay, and you can see actually she's still not ideal. So let's try a second pillow. Okay. Okay. So overall that looks better. So a couple things, no support through the chair back, and now the feet are dangling quite a bit. Okay, so what's the next step? Let's support the feet. Okay, so you take a box, some books, something like that. Underneath, good. Okay, so now you look, and her feet are supported, thighs basically parallel. That's looking better. Okay, and she's at a decent height here. Obviously not a lot of back support here, so what we're going to try is taking just a basic towel, rolling it up. Okay, lumbar support above the belt line. Okay, so there. Okay, yep, no worries. Okay, that looks good there. That looks okay. How's that feeling? Okay, yeah, okay. So, and you look, the angle here is much, much better. Now, a couple issues though. This looks okay, but she's looking down even more now. So over time, she's going to pull herself forward. So what's the next step? We want to bring the monitor up. Next step. So we take standard paper. These are great ergonomic tools. Stapled brand paper works very well. You put it up like this. Okay. So now, when you put your arm straight out, so we talked about that distance there. So that's a pretty good distance there. Okay. Now we look. This is a much better height, but obviously, if she's going to type like this in this Frankenstein typing position, that's going to lead to issues with the traps and levator and through the neck as well. Okay, so this is where you need to look at doing some type of basic investment in a separate keyboard and mouse. Really simple. Okay, so we get a separate keyboard. Let's get you up on there. Okay, I might bring it forward just a little bit for you there. So that looks pretty good. Okay, this angle, not ideal, but still, that's pretty good. Now, we take the mouse, boom, she's looking pretty good. Okay, so this is using, besides the keyboard and mouse, using basic household items. We've made a lot of simple tweaks that are going to get her more comfortable and get her into a better posture and a better position. Okay, now, if you have, and you need to make some more significant investments, and you're going to be spending a lot of time, let's try some actual ergonomic products. Okay, so we're going to start with the laptop. Okay, so she's still slightly low with this. Okay, so we take this off, push paper aside. Okay, here, how a laptop riser works, pop it in like this. Boom, up like that. So when I look, she's hitting the top third of the monitor, much better. Okay, what's nice with this one is it has a document holder in place like this, so you can actually have documents looking straight up like that. So once again, a lot less neck strain. The other thing I forgot to mention, we talked about looking at a lot of documents. So what you do is a document holder like this. Once again, so less neck strain, she's not looking down as much. Okay, so that's a good setup there. Now let's look at some of the other products there. Okay, so instead of that footrest, we can look at proper ergonomic footrest. What's nice about this one by Fellows is that it adjusts to different heights depending on leg length, height of the chair. Okay, so we pop it down, back there. This, looking at that, should be a good height for Winnie. And what's nice nice is because it flexes, she can pump her legs a bit, which will actually help with a bit of circulation as well. There we go. Okay, and that looks pretty good there. So now, let's address the chair. First, this chair back. Okay, we look at something that's a little bit more ergonomic, okay? A little bit more like function designed to work better. Okay, so something like this. Okay. Now this chair is ideally not high enough, but once again, we get a better support through here. This one can actually be strapped on and adjusted to stay tight to support her back, okay? Ideally, with the slightly higher chair, this would come up and support her through the thoracic spine as well, but that's looking much better. Let's get your hands on the keyboard there. That looks pretty good. Now, the seat cushions, not ideal. So investing in an actual seat cushion here. My only concern is with just the one, it might be a little low, but let's try this and let's see. Okay, bring that lumbar support up there. Okay. Let's scooch you in. Okay, so actually that's not looking too bad there. Okay, so we've gone from kind of the low end with using basic household items to using some more specific ergonomic products. And as you can see, Winnie's set up here pretty well. She's going to be able to work more as long as she still takes those frequent breaks. Now what I want to show you is how using this product, we can adapt for someone who's my height. So Winnie, let's get you standing up. So as you can see, Winnie's about 5 feet. I'm about 6'7", 6'8", okay? So it's a bit of a challenge to adapt things for me, okay? So let's see. So if I sit down, okay? So this is still low for me. I don't need a footrest whatsoever. So I'm gonna kick that out, this out. So my feet are flat on the floor. However, I'm actually low here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get a separate pillow, put this underneath this, you know, and this still for me, my height may not quite be enough, but let's see. Back. Okay, that's actually pretty good, okay? Lumbar support wise, what I want to try to do is sit back into the chair a bit, okay? Now, I feel a little tight here, so I'm gonna bring this forward a little bit here. I'm mousing here, okay? This still looks good. Now, this is still low for me, but what's nice about this, boom, I just popped it up. It's a little tight, so I push it back, bring that back. I'm looking here. That's looking pretty good, okay? Maybe a little bit of contact stress here, so what I would look at is something like this, just to take a little bit of pressure off there. I'm typing here, looking straight ahead. That looks pretty good, okay? So we've gone from 5 feet to 6'8" and adapted things pretty well to fit me, and I should be pretty comfortable working here. So as you can see, there's a lot of options for you using basic household items and using basic ergonomic products. Okay, and now we'll go to the Q&A.